The migrant camp in El Chaparral Plaza in Tijuana has only grown in recent weeks. Hundreds of asylum seekers from Central America, from Africa, from the Caribbean wait for the day the United States fully restores its asylum system along the southwest border. But for the first time since the camp sprung up in February, there's some hope. A few families who have been living here are getting into the United States, escaping the cramped and dangerous spaces of the haphazard camp.
And these are terrible conditions. You have kids that are running around. It wasn't until recently that the local government put in bathrooms and showers, and so people were trying to figure out how to maintain cleanliness without having the means to do so. And so it's been a struggle for them.
The American Friends Service Committee is one of the few groups still making trips to the camp to offer support, face masks, hygiene kits, and some advice about this new way to safely enter the United States. It's part of a deal struck between the American Civil Liberties Union and the Biden administration, stemming from a lawsuit challenging a migrant expulsion policy known as Title 42. The deal now allows for 250 families or individuals to enter the United States along the southwest border each day to pursue their asylum claims. Deciding who ends up on the list that gets sent to the U.S. government is up to these service providers on the ground in Tijuana. It's based not on their claims of asylum from their home countries, but how much danger they face in Mexico.
You can imagine how many petitions, how many parole requests are being handled at this time, just at this port of entry alone.
Robert Vivar is swamped as he tries to make it through the encampment, looking for someone whose case he's looking into. His office is just down the block from the camp. Dozens of people ask him when they'll get a call back from overworked immigration lawyers, or tell him their child is sick and in danger. There's just no way for Vivar to help everyone, but he's trying.
It's kind of difficult, to tell people to have patience when, they're running away because of persecution. It's not safe, right. Where they're coming from, or even here, they've had threats, that they've been followed, and it's a difficult situation for them, and you can understand why they would be so desperate for information.
Right now, the focus has been to locate pregnant women, people with pressing medical needs, and those in immediate danger in Mexico. But migrants without working papers or homes are constantly under threat in Mexico. Rafa Interiano, a member of the LGBT community, is one of those people who could have a strong asylum case were he allowed into the U.S. He says he fled Honduras after his house was burned down. He was beaten, and his friends were killed. Under the current arrangement, he's not being prioritized.
Es bien duro porque los abogados que han venido.
He says it's been hard because the volunteer lawyers that come, they're asking for families, for people with serious illnesses. So he can't find representation. It's really hard to be alone for a situation like this one. Every morning and afternoon, Customs and Border Protection agents call out names at the port of entry in Tijuana. Late Thursday afternoon, several families entered the United States to begin an asylum process that will take years to resolve. Dulce Garcia, the executive director of Border Angels, spent 3 weeks working in the encampment, finding the people who can get to safety now. She's now helping them from the U.S. side of the border.
People now saying, the tent next to me is leaving because they're crossing to the U.S. finally, and that brought hope to people in the encampment, which also made people a lot more desperate for them to hear their cases first.
Garcia hopes that this system won't last much longer. Pressure is growing on the Biden administration to drop Title 42 and restore the asylum system along the border. Until that happens, the encampment at El Chaparral won't be going anywhere. Robert Vivar says.
As people leave, more people take their spot.
Max Rivlin-Nadler, KPBS News.